Hey guys, this is Cobalt Blue doing Introduction to AM Stations. This is an AM station. On the map here you can see AM stations have a little lightning bolt icon. And most AM stations have this kind of a layout where at the top, well, it's not always a top, but there's two entrances which are inventory only, and then two entrances that are for vehicles. And the vehicle entrances have shields over the top of them. To take down the shields, there are shield generators. Where's the other one? It should be over here. Anyways, there are shield generators for each of the shields for the vehicles. Those shields only block vehicles. And then for the inner portion of the base, to take down the shields around that, there are a horizontal shield generator and a vertical shield generator. You have to take down both the horizontal and the vertical shield generator to take down the shield around the base. Let me show you them quick. Without dying. Here's the vertical shield generator. We call it the vertical shield generator because it has little vertical lines on the shield. You'll notice that this room is really tiny. That's going to come up in the future. To overload a shield generator, you walk up to it and hold down the E key. It'll say hold down the E key if you're looking at it in the right spot. And you hold it down, wait till you finish hacking it, and then it'll start overloading. It takes a while to overload. It'll start beeping, and when it starts beeping with a high-pitched, high-frequency beep, you want to get out of the room because it'll explode. You want to be probably this far away, or else you'll blow up in the explosion. While it's beeping, the enemy can come up and fix it. So you have to kind of camp it to make sure they don't fix it. And then once it's destroyed, an engineer can still come around and heal it to fix it. If you are defending and a shield generator has been hacked and it's in the middle of overloading, you go up to it and you use your E key on it. You don't try to heal it or shoot it or whatever. You can see this is one of the tank entrances. That's the tank force field. Infantry can run through it, but tanks can't. And here is one of the tank generators. It looks just like the other generators, except its symbol is a little tank. You can see how they're spaced out. One tank generator on either side next to the shield for it. And then the horizontals are up closer to the infantry access points. The way these are infantry only is there are blockades, which you just can't move, that infantry can walk through, but tanks can't. And you have to watch out at the infantry entrances because they both are, well, specifically this side, this is easy to defend from the inside because of this building. It has a lot of windows and nooks and crannies that defenders can use to snipe outwards. This one not as much, but still to some extent it's pretty easy to defend. So usually as infantry you still want to go through the tank entrances unless they're being heavily camped. And then once the horizontal and vertical shield generators are down, you can get into the main portion of the base. You can see here the shield that the horizontal and vertical shield generators take down. And if you have one or the other of these down, the icon on this screen will put an X through it or empty space through it, so you can see which ones are down and up just from looking at this. And again, you have to have both of them down to get through this. This will block infantry and vehicles. Then when you're inside this base, you need to come over here and take down the SCU generator. This generator will take down a shield that allows you to get into the SCU room. The SCU room is down here. This orange shield is the shield that you take down with that shield generator. And this is the SCU. Again, you look at it and hold down the E key to overload it. And when that's gone, the opponents in the base can't spawn there anymore. It blocks spawning. You also notice there's a back entrance to this room. This shield is, again, taken down by that shield generator on the catwalk. There are also upper level entrances to this base, which I suppose I should note now since I'm still in the base. There's one on either side. The one on on this base, it's the south side, comes down to here, and it goes up to where you can make a vehicle. Here, where the pads are. It's on the pad side. You can see it's still blocked by the horizontal and vertical shields. And on the opposite side over here, there's two entrances on this side that come into this drop-down point, which you can drop down here, but there still is a shield generator here, so dropping down here before the shield is up doesn't really do you much good. You can, if you're taking a base... I hate this one, this always does this. You can, if you're taking this base, camp up here to keep the defenders from coming out top. Sitting on top of this thing, crouching down, you can see the going up pad and shoot at people. People are pretty defenseless while they're in the middle of being thrown through the air, so it's pretty easy to camp this top part if you need to. Now I'm going to go over attacking and defending the vertical and horizontal shield generators. Well, all the shield generators, but most of them are fairly similar. So the tactic you're probably most familiar with is the lockdown method, which we use for tower defense mostly. And for the lockdown method, you would want to crouch down here and look out this door, which protects you from this door, and then the other person will crouch down here and look out this door. Unfortunately, the lockdown method isn't the greatest method for the amp station because of how small these rooms are. You throw a grenade in there and anything in the room gets demolished. And there's two entrances to this one. One of the other shield generators has 3 entrances. And so it's just not, it doesn't work out that well normally, especially if there are a lot of people coming in. It's pretty easy to crush anyone that's in this room and take access. The other method is, well, there's a couple different methods, but the method that works best in amp station is sort of a guerrilla tactic, hide and attack kind of a thing, where you get to a hiding position like this. This isn't the best one, but you go outside and you look back at it. You make it seem as though it's empty, and then when someone goes in there to do their business, you can run in and kill them. Also, putting down Bettys at entrances, that's an amazingly useful thing to do. If you're a medic or a heavy, you can put C4 on this. I'm going to show you where you should put it. But you can put C4 right on there, and then you can always look at this icon to tell what's going on at the station. At any point in time, the icon will show you what's going on. It'll be blinking if it's being overloaded. It'll have a little green bar underneath it if there's an engineer repairing it. And it'll look like this when nothing's going on. So if you have overloaded this and it's broken, for example, and you have a C4 on it, if you see a little green bar show up underneath it, you know that there's an engineer at that base, and you can blow up your C4 to destroy the engineer. So C4 can work almost as well as a bouncing Betty in that situation. And you want to make sure you put the C4 on the generator so that you don't accidentally blow up someone's bouncing Bettys that are in the doorways. And it might still happen to some extent, depending on how small the room is. Like that room we just left, it's small enough that the C4 would take out the bouncing bags anyways, but in these slightly larger rooms, if you place a C4 in the right spot, you'll be good to go with that. This one, it's not, this one's quite hard to defend. I wouldn't even suggest trying to defend this one. Just take it, let them take it, then take it back. But if you are going to try and lock down, you have to do it from back here. And on this side, you don't crouch down to look at it. One thing you don't want to do, I see this happen a lot of times with people lock down spots, is you'll have 3 people doing a lockdown, watching different doors, and then you'll just have one douchebag like hiding in a corner, staring at the rest of the people locking stuff down. You do have greater survivability by doing that, but at the cost of everyone else's survivability. You're not helping the team keep people out of the room, so everyone else is gonna die. You're gonna live. Good job. It doesn't help anyone. Oh, there aren't really good hide spots for this one, but one reasonably good spot you can hide in to camp it is back here. People usually won't see you back here, and you can see through both doorways, which means you can see when someone comes in or out of the room. You have to just make sure it's not easy to get out of. That's one of the main problems. You can jump out or you can crawl out, but you can't just run straight out to fix the problem. This one's a little bit better for defending. I mean, there's a couple different places where you can be able to defend. This one you have to... I think this one is like this. Here and then here. Okay, so for putting C4 on this, if you place it in the right place, it kind of looks like it's part of the machine. So people won't notice it. You can try and put it right on these arrows.